Today I'm going to give you some quick and easy ideas on what to do with sunflowers. They're in season now, they're beautiful, inexpensive, and a great flower for summer entertaining. So what most people do when they buy sunflowers is take them home and just plunk them right into a vase. Now, they look okay like this when you first get them at home, but what starts to happen is the heads are heavy and they start to fall over, and sometimes they'll even topple over your vase, and it's just not that great looking. So the designs that I have for you today focus on the head of the flower. The beautiful yellow color, I've got one here, it's awesome, and that's really what we want to focus on instead of the long stalk. I know that they're tall when you get them, but it's okay to cut them down. So let me show you my ideas. I'll move this further out of the way so it's not hitting me when I arrange. So the first idea I have is to make a low centerpiece with sunflowers and alstroemeria. I started with just a shallow low dish, and I put a leaf inside, added a little bit of my flower power, flower food, and then made a tape grid across the top with my floral tape so that I could have a structure that would hold my flowers and greens in place. So I've got that ready here. The next step is to prepare my flowers and greens. So I'm going to be using variegated pittosporum as my greenery. And what I'll do is just cut it down a little bit like this so that I have small pieces that will go right into the vase. And you'll see in a second I'll fill them in, but because I have the tape grid, they stay in place, which is so nice. The next thing I'm going to do is prepare the alstroemeria. So this is a great orange flower. I love the color, and it's going to contrast beautifully with the sunflowers. And again, I'm just going to trim it down, remove any greenery that might be below the water line, or any greenery that just isn't looking so great, and have my sort of short pieces here, and I've got those ready to go. And the most fun part, the sunflowers. It is so liberating to get rid of this stalk. Let me show you. You just cut it down, this big thing gets thrown away, you don't have to look at it anymore, and again, this arrangement will showcase the beautiful head of the sunflower. So I'll set that aside. So now that I've prepped my flowers and greens, I'm going to, this one is a little bit too long, cut it down. I'm going to just start placing them in the vase. So this is going to be a round centerpiece. So I'll just fill in from all sides, starting with that green and white pittosporum to make a good green base for the arrangement. All right. Next up is the alstroemeria. Tucking it down in here. Alstroemeria is also called Peruvian lilies, and they last forever. I love them, and again, inexpensive and long-lasting. I've got a few greens on here that I missed in my first go-around that I'll just pull off, tuck in, get more of my alstro in, and I'll just place it around on all sides because, again, I want this to be like a great big centerpiece for maybe a barbecue or something outside, or inside if it gets too hot. You can always move it around. Okay, the alstro is in place, and now I'll grab the sunflowers. So this first sunflower that's really upright, doesn't sort of have a natural curve to the stem, is one I'm going to stick right down into the center. And the tape will help hold it in place. And you'll see that I'll really be able to see the front of the sunflower, the head of it, and show it off instead of dealing with the stalks. Okay, this one's giving me trouble, but I'm going to nestle it down in there. Got more here. It's a really simple centerpiece with just a few things going into it, but it's big and bright, and I think it's going to be something that'll really just look great on the table. One more little guy in here. All right, my traditional looking sort of round centerpiece is complete, and now I'll show you the next ideal sunflowers. So let me move that out of the way. So I've got a tall cylinder vase here, and I wanted to make something that was a little bit more sleek and simple for those of you who want the look of just sunflowers. So vases here, I'm gonna drop in a few rocks. I have just some black river rocks here. Drop them down into the vase to add a little weight and just to look cool. Next up is aspidistra leaves, or any tropical leaf. I'm gonna trim them like this, curl it in my hand. Oh, this one actually, before I curl it, I can tell it's a little tough. I'm gonna just trim up the spine a teeny bit. There we go. And that'll make it more pliable. Now I'll curl it in my hand. I'll try this again. Slip my leaf right down in. And I'm gonna do 2 of those so that I completely cover this clear cylinder base, just to make it look more interesting. And it's basically for pennies here when you're using tropical leaves, which you can buy at the grocery store or florist somewhere, or you can just have a tropical plant and cut right from it. And I've got lots of videos showing how to do that, so you can look at those later. But this, again, this tropical plant is called an aspidistra. Now it's time to make a round shape so that I have a little bit of greenery inside the vase. And I'm going to do this right here with my aspidistra leaves. So I have a few more of these. And you'll see, instead of it being upright, I curled it, and I'll show you what I did. I just took the edge of the leaf and the stem, and I popped the stem right through to make a nice round shape. And then I can just tuck it down into my vase. Now, if you do not have aspidistra leaves, which have this really sort of neat stem which pops right through, you can always take any tropical leaf and use floral wire, like I've done here, and just bind the edge of the leaf to the stem, okay? That's a great way to manipulate the shape of the leaf so you get this cool round look. I've got one more here. All right, now mine popped out. That's what happens when you don't wire it. I'm gonna pop this one back through. Now you know it happens to me, and don't be afraid if your popped leaves come unpopped, you just pick them up and fix them. Okay, good, there we go. All right, now it's time to get my sunflowers into the vase. I'm just gonna use 3 sunflowers here, and then I'm gonna do the same thing in 2 more vases and have sort of a modern look of the 3 sunflowers running down the length of the table. So right here, sunflower, I remove the greenery, cut it a little bit shorter, tucking it in, and it's truly just that simple. And I'll fill my other vases. You'll see the photograph of it, and line them up down the center of the dining room table for something sort of modern and chic that still focuses on that beautiful sunflower head. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy sunflowers this season.